Okay, so let's look at how this movement we just did, the loop choke, can connect us to another progressed submission or progressed position, right? We know that we have the hand in the collar, and we know that we're hugging the head, and we know that we just do this, right, to make the collar a little loose here, and we find the thumb, and then we loop to the side, right, and we finish the choke here, right? So maybe the person's not going to be so easy to choke. Why? Because they start to defend. What is the problem with the choke, any kind of cross choke? Not the first hand, but the second hand, right? So how are they going to defend the second hand? Even if I'm hugging the head, can they not hold my bicep? They can, right? So they hold the bicep. And when they do this, look, as I try and loop, they're going to follow me and they stop the choke from passing. So from this position, let me use this to move to something else. As soon as I see the defense is here, right? I'm hugging the head and they're defending that head hug by putting their hand inside the bicep. Great. Let me use that connection they made to me to lengthen the arm. How do I do this? I put the foot in the hip and I'm going to move. Same side foot goes in the hip. This leg is going to go high under the armpit as I move to the side here, right? There we go. Now I've changed my angle. In order to get this leg over the head, I have to take his face out of the way. So the hand that was hugging the head before, I can just put it here now, and I can push, right? I can push like this. And now look, this can easily come over the head. Both hands go to the wrist, and I push this heel down while I lift the hips a little bit. That's it. Right? I just want to extend him away from me. I don't want to do this. And look, I get farther and farther away, and my legs get, and he gets more and more defensive. Right? What I want is to keep him close and use this leg to push with the heel. And what it does is it lengthens the arm. That's what I want. I want to stretch the arm. And then by stretching, the arm can only stretch so far before it starts to bend. And when it starts to bend, that's the arm lock. Right? So first I stretch, and then naturally it bends, because that's what follows when I push that way, create that distance, right? But what am I doing? It's actually a very magical, physical thing. I'm creating distance while staying as close as possible. I'm lengthening. How am I creating distance? Not between me and him, but between his shoulder and his wrist. I'm stretching the arm. I'm stretching, stretching. And what does that do? Just like a rubber band, you stretch and stretch and stretch, and it becomes more and more tense. And eventually, when you stretch it to a certain point, it breaks. Right? If you try and stretch a rubber band and break it by bending it in half, what happens? You relieve the tension. You relieve the tension. So if I do the same thing with the arm lock, look, hand in the collar, I hug, he defends, I put the foot in the hip, I put this leg high and move, now I push the face out of the way, leg over the head. If I try and do this now and break the rubber band in half, I give him a chance to walk his knees close and start to defend, right? He can hold his own bicep here like this, and he can walk to the side now, and he can pass the guard. What I need to do is push him away while keeping the arm where it is. I have to stretch the arm to create the tension. But more importantly, I need to be able to pass the leg comfortably. Right? We're trying to keep it as playful as possible. That's the theme, thanks to what Ryron taught us yesterday. So when we hug the head and he starts to defend, we don't need to try and force the choke, because that's not playful. That's aggressive, and it's unnecessarily aggressive. It's not going to win us the fight or keep us safe. He's given us something else. How about we move to that by putting the foot in the hip, making this one a little higher, and checking out what's going on this side. Right? I don't like what's happening over here anymore. I'm going to see what's going on this side of town. Now I'm going to push the face and just pass the leg over. Right here, the knees are together. Now I can switch both hands to the wrist so we can't pull the arm free, and then I'm going to stretch him. Stretch him. There. Nice? All right, let's give it a try, guys.